Here's the diorama. Now I'm going to show you some baby animals. Here's a baby white lion. It turns into. Here's a baby white tiger. Here's a joey or a baby kangaroo. Here's a young snow leopard. Here's a baby red fox. And here's a baby coyote. Here's a baby caracal. And here's a young hippopotamus. Here's a baby leopard or a cub. Here's a small Asian tapir. And here's a small tiger or a cub. Here's a small lion or a cub. And it turns into a big. And here's a big white tiger. And here's a big snow leopard. And here's a big kangaroo. A big white lion. A big red fox. And here's a big coyote. Here's a big caracal. And here's a big hippopotamus. And here's a big leopard. And here's a big tiger. Tapir. Lion. Here's a young wolf. And here's a big wolf. Here's a young koala. And here's a big koala. Here's a baby wildebeest and a big wildebeest. Here's a small cheetah or a cub. And here's a big cheetah. Here's a young deer or a fawn. And here's a big deer. Here's a duckling. And here's a big duck. Here's a young African elephant. And here's a big African elephant. Here's a young crocodile or hatchling. And here's a big crocodile. Here's a small brown bear or a cub. And here's a huge bear. Here's a small emu. And here's a big emu. Here's a small panda. And here's a big panda. Here's a baby alligator. And here's a big alligator. Here's a baby gazelle. And here's a big gazelle. Here's a baby gorilla. And a big gorilla. Here's a small Asian elephant and a big Asian elephant. Here's a small wild boar and a big wild boar. Here's a baby hedgehog and a big hedgehog. Here's a baby meerkat and a big meerkat. Here's a small black bear and a big black bear. Here's a baby zebra and a big zebra. Here's a baby orangutan and it turns into a big orangutan. Here's a small rabbit. It turns into a big rabbit. Here's a small gibbon and it turns into a big gibbon. Here's a small aardvark and it turns into a big aardvark. And here's a small chimpanzee and it turns into a big chimpanzee. Lastly, we have a baby giraffe. It turns into a